All right. Hello, 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 and welcome to Shared Space with Quita and Chat. How y'all doing today, folks? I am Laquita Chansey, the founder and director of Baltimore Homes, and we build micro shelters and tiny homes for folks who are unhoused, alongside with volunteers. My brother from another mother, Chap, has been out there with us before, who is also my co-host. So, Chapo, introduce yourself. What you got going on today?
Namaste, assalamu alaikum, peace and love, everybody. I am Chaplain David Lovelace, with Chaplain for Baltimore City through the police department. Um, I've been busy, man. I know, we got some stuff coming up. We can get to that towards the end of the show, maybe. I've been filming in North Carolina, though, representing Be More. Wilmington, North Carolina, on a super secret project. I'll tell you about it after I'm allowed to tell you about it. But it's pretty fun, building up our network and meeting people, and sharing some of the stuff we're doing in Baltimore. And it's a lot of fun telling our stories that we have in Baltimore. People really have no idea. Um, you know, they have this mindset of what they see on the media, and they really have no idea what we're doing in Baltimore. So it's always great to share the stories and then point them towards the show so they can talk to the real people, like our guest today, Miss Sherry. And I don't even jump right into it. Miss Sherry Boast, if you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Uh oh. I think we were both hitting the unmute button. I'm gonna go ahead and hit unmute.
Okay.
Hold on, Miss Sherry. Run it back. Run it back.
All right, go ahead. You're off mute, Miss Sherry. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing okay. Actually, I just left North Carolina. I was down there for 3 years, and in New Bern, and then I moved to Trenton, North Carolina.
Okay.
You know, well, my name is Sherry Bose, and I'm an ordained minister.
Well, welcome to the show, Miss Sherry. So, our guest tonight, I was working with Mr. Albert Miller, who, if you guys don't know, he serves a lot of southeast, from east to southeast Baltimore, serving the homeless community and veteran community. He works with multiple groups. I'm sure um, he works with Miss Sherry here and with Charm City Cares on is that on Wolfe Street, and then you'll find him all the way down by Broadway, 200 block of Broadway, and he just is everywhere, doing everything from feeding people, using Breadcoin is one of the resources there. That's a great plug. He offers OD kits. He offers wound care. He offers all kinds of things that people don't think about that they need, and then on top of that, he offers yoga. He's doing yoga in these spaces where he's serving people experiencing homelessness, which is super cool, and like taking them to a peaceful place for a little while, and allowing them to get some mental and physical health. And so, Miss Sherry, this is my first time meeting you. So, how do you fit in with Mr. Albert and what he's been doing?
Well, he's just a good friend of mine. I met him at Haven City Church on Ann Street, and we've been friends ever since. Like you said, he does a lot of things in the community. He passes out bread corn. He prays for people, and
That's the work. Hmm.
yeah, yeah, and he's doing his job all down Broadway, serving the community. That's what I love about him. You know,
And
he'll
and I'll
take
tell
his
you,
shirt off his back and give to anybody.
and no one is paying him to do it, but somehow being plugged into the source, he maintains and sustains. Right?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Yep, he's out there doing it out of his heart and out of his pocket, and we all experience that. This God provides, regardless of what you think you have. You just give it away. You can't outgive God. That's what I tell him.
You got that right.
So
Right. But one of the things you need to mention, Chap, is yeah, part of that sustainability is Breadcoin. That's how I met Mr. Miller when we had our Breadcoin meeting over at Broadway Market. And it looks like he is online through Facebook and can see us. So, Mr. Miller, if you can hear us, go ahead, go to your email, click on the link, click go backstage, and hop online with us. Join the conversation because it was really interesting to hear like how engaged he is right there in that, little area. Like he is hyper focused. But the dope thing is, like you said, Chap, like hell or high water, like he's figuring out a way to get it done because this work don't stop. So I commend Mr. Miller. I commend Miss Boast. Like it's just dope to see people of all types, helping in the community because it takes all types. So you said that you and Mr. Miller or you and Albert have known each other for a minute and that you're good friends. Which church are you at, and does he attend that church? Like what's going on there? Because I hear that you are involved in some things too, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
And so
I have. Go ahead. What you were saying?
which church are you working out of? What part of town? What are we doing?
I haven't been to church since I left North Carolina. I was going to church down there. Only been back here like 7 months. So next Sunday will be the first Sunday that I'm gonna go back to Haven City Church where Mr. Miller
Okay.
attends. One thing about
Awesome.
him is that I don't care what type of weather it is, he's out there in the rain, walking and serving and helping people, and that's a
Yes,
blessing, because
yes.
some people, like, even with the weather, they would stay in a house or something like that, but he is out there in the cold, the snow, the rain. I'm telling you, he's
Yes,
a
and
true
that is
man of
hard
God.
work. Yes, that's
Yes.
hard work. Listen, Miss Sherry, we have a weekly wellness walk. We stop that walk during the wintertime because of the unpredictability of snow. We stop that walk when it's raining because I'm made of sugar and I'm a melt out there, okay? So we listen. So I know how my point is, I know how hard it is to get up and do the work, but when the weather is against you, it's even harder. So to that point, we commend that. Like that is dope. That is dope. Oh, that's so crazy. So Albert looking like he can't get on y'all. He's like, I can hear y'all, but we're gonna figure it out because we still got a few minutes to make this thing happen. Okay. So you're gonna head to church this weekend. You've been back for 7 months, so welcome back. That's super
Thank you.
excellent. Thank you for getting involved in everything. Is there a way that our listeners or that Chap and I can tap in with you and help whatever it is that you're doing in the community or that Mr. Albert is doing that you can think of?
I guess I'm not sure, really sure.
Okay. Okay. We're going to start right here. We're giving you the platform to tell the people whatever it is that you want to tell them. We need to figure out how to get Mr. Albert on here so that we can hear what is going on in Baltimore City with the folks who are unhoused. Those are my people, but I haven't been out in these streets lately. I've been up and down 95, Chap in the Eye. You came to the Fair Housing Symposium out in Laurel. Like, housing can't wait, y'all, and it's a problem everywhere.
Yeah, so I'll vouch for you. She has not been in the street, but she has been, in rooms with legislative policy writers and makers. She was in a room. I seen her in a room full of mayors a couple weekends ago, and so Quita is out here, just trying to communicate our experiences on the street and articulate that to make legislation that makes sense, right? Um,
Right.
so, so yeah, so we haven't seen her. We're going to see her some more as it warms up. Like she said, she don't like the cold or the rain, so we might get her out in some of the rain in the spring. Um,
Right, right. Look,
but
it happens sometimes. Go ahead,
yeah,
Chapo.
no, I was going to say too. I know you guys have big plans for. So we do a wellness walk. Well, you do a wellness walk. I say we because I
It's
walk
for the
with
community. Yes.
you. But it is definitely you and the girls organize this walk. All credit to you. And we join you, and we have this wellness walk. We walk around Lake Montebello every 9 a.m. on Sundays. It is not happening right now, but it will be picking back up. And I think you guys said you're moving west. You're going to do something over Harlem Park. And
Yes, I gotta reach out to Miss Catalina Bird and figure out what we're gonna do. But go ahead,
oh,
Cat.
yeah, Catbird, if you're plugged in with Catbird, she's already got the plan. You're good to go. I also want to say it would be cool to as you expand and grow, not to put more on your plate, but it'd be nice to do a walk around like Fells Point down by the square and the pier, man. It's a really nice walk. Um,
Oh,
it's
you trying to get me in the white L? You know the black butterflies where I tend to stay. But
but
okay,
let
I
me
can dabble.
no, because our people are there, right? Like Mr. Dominic and Mr. Dennis, and some of the staples in that community are actually people that are experiencing homelessness, whether they choose to or not. And they're
Right.
right there in that community. So yes, it is in the White L, but there are
But
people of
homelessness
color,
is everywhere. Right.
right? And so that's why that's why Albert is very successful there feeding people and like my guy Mr. Dennis, he sits outside of the Cat's Eye Pub. He has been a staple in that community. And he's been sober for 30 years, but he just hangs out. He just hangs out by the pub. You find Mr. Dominic usually up by the usually find him up by the chop tank, and he's also out there, just another staple. And hey, of course, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Mr. Albert knows all them guys. He knows it don't matter black, white. It don't matter. It don't matter. Like whatever you look
Right.
like,
Because
whatever you
community is community, right?
he's out there
It's
doing
the
it. So
system that tries to divide us. But I mean, but to be y'all know I do everything for the culture, whatever the culture is, whatever that looks
okay,
like.
Jay Z, you
And
do it for the culture.
listen, I do it for the culture. I told Chapo he my brother from another mother. So
Okay.
however that looks, we out here in these streets. Yes. But I
And I,
do love Juve.
no, and I appreciate that too, right? Like everything we do is intentional and everything we do is for the culture. I can tell you that in November when I decided to do the pursue the background acting and take it to the next level, but pursue the acting full time. For me, it was a decision again to do it for the culture. We have Amazon and Under Armour buying up property, and we have Amazon Studios coming through, and all these. We're seeing Paramount and Apple Plus and HBO, and everybody's starting to film here, and we see this big tidal wave. If y'all don't see it coming, I ain't no prophet. I'm just telling you, we're out here watching it. The waves are curling, and this flood is coming of this film industry. And so for me, seeing it coming, I see it uniquely coming, and I see a unique advantage of if I can build these relationships and get in the industry now and figure out like now how to navigate and stay working and build the relationships, then that's information I can share with my youth and my people in the community. And so um, when this flood hits of like the film industry flood hits, instead of being washed out, our people, our tribe, and people that we care about and take care of, we'll
Yeah.
be riding
We'll
the
be
wave.
included. Yeah.
Right. And so that said, like anybody interested in acting or doing the PA work or becoming a camera person or even just doing security on production or like Jefferson Butler, we're going to get him back doing crafties and catering for the productions. All these things are available to us, and we're taking time now. I'm taking time now to be intentional about building those relationships so we can make it happen. And when they're coming into Baltimore with millions of dollars, they're spending it in Baltimore, not bringing a casting director from New Mexico, not bringing a caterer from Tennessee. And
Right. Right.
that's what's happening right now, and it's major disrespect, and even down to the point where, like when John Singleton or Ice Cube or Spike Lee, when they film in New York, L.A., Chicago, right, they even come with petty cash and pay respects to the neighborhoods where they film because they're disrupting lifestyles. We'll leave it at that. Well, when people come to Baltimore, they don't do that. So not only do they not respect the casting directors that are here, or not properly respect the caterers and industry that's here, or use sometimes they don't use security that's from here. Um, you know, it speaks volumes to how they think about Baltimore. And so when they come to Baltimore, they don't pay respects to the communities. Well, our boys last year flexed on them, right? It was in the news, and they set the precedent. Like if you come here, you're going to respect Baltimore. And they did the right thing. They did the wrong thing for the right reasons, right? They did things out of
Hmm.
order. But to their point, if you guys are coming here and you guys are coming here spending the money, spend the money on the people here and the city. Like Baltimore is a city that you push, it pushes back. But when you love on the city, it loves you back. And I can speak.
Absolutely, because hurt people, and heal people. In Baltimore, we're both. We understand. Like we're just trying to bridge the gap, fill in the gap. and make it happen. So for me, let me bring this back to the practicality of it all, right? Like all of us, a lot of us anyway, are comfortable on both sides of the track. That right there, like being able to code switch and being able to be in rooms where you're not normally with your peers or it, bruh, that is a skill. That is acting. That means that you are qualified for this kind of work. Okay. I need y'all to understand this. Like not being frustrated all day once you recognize what institutional and structural racism is. Like being able to have a conversation with the people who continue to benefit from it and continue to implement it. These are the things that we're able to do and just step in rooms and be us and show up and be enough. So if folks are interested in doing what Chap is doing and being featured, getting some skills, we're going to definitely, I know last year we were up at Agoji talking with Dr. Mama Deborah and the crew about
Yep.
some action stuff. So again, if you're
And
comfortable on both sides of the tracks, that's a skill right there.
I'm glad you
Go
said
ahead,
that,
Pat.
though. Let me pause it. So, because Womb Works, right? Womb Works, and Dr. David and Mama, Dr. Mama, they have the drama program that, and so we want to collaborate with them as and they've said they've had some success with some of their youth acting and getting jobs like that. But to take it a step further, like the lady who put me on and put on like half of Baltimore for We Own the City, Thea Washington Casting. She actually has a kids class. So watch my IG coming up. I'm gonna post it. I posted. She has an adult class, and right now it's $75 for the class. It's virtual. I highly recommend it because when she first came out with the pilot program, I paid double that. But so you're already getting a value. It's half price. But I'll also
Right.
say that there's some serious heavy hitters that come to the table in that class. She gives you a piece of her contacts list for working in the DMV, and those people that I reached out to, I'd hit them up with an email. Hey, Thea sent me. I was working within a week. But the one lady,
Look, ain't no gatekeeping over here, y'all. Go ahead, Chap.
no, and the one lady that came on at the end, and I was so excited about, was a lady who's been a casting director originally for Spike Lee back in the 80s and 90s, John Singleton. You know, she was on there, and I
Shout out
recognized the name,
Morehouse.
right? And I was like, hey, aren't you? So didn't you do Crooklyn, right? And her face lit up because like who really like I'm a movie nerd, right? So like who
Right,
pays
but she's
attention
like,
to the
who
casting
knows that?
director and the wardrobe? Nobody pays attention to those names. I pay attention to those names, and I see them when you're watching the credits. You see the same names in films you like. Obviously, they influence.
Right.
And so it was a privilege to meet her and tell her like you affected my childhood. You molded me to what I am today, and I'm proud of what I am. And it's a privilege to meet you. And we still speak on IG. So you make connections through this class. So I posted the adult class already, but I'm gonna post the kids class because she also has a class that uniquely will help you direct your energies towards getting your children working and while protecting them. She came up through the industry. So Thea, thank you for all you do. We'll get her on the show one day. Like right now, she's casting a show in Texas, and she's hot shit. So I
Yeah.
don't expect to get
Yeah.
her anytime soon, but she is. We do have a connection with her, and we can get people plugged in. Yeah, and like you said, like you got me excited because I had no aspirations of being an actor per se. We're from Baltimore. We got all these side hustles, and background acting was just like a side hustle that got thrown on my plate. But that's what carried me to this point where I can go full time and start pursuing. Like I've done some live auditions. I got some parts coming up, hopefully. And it's because, like you said, I can code switch. I'm from Baltimore, right? So I can sit in City Hall and talk with them guys, or I can I can go down Glover Street and talk with them guys, or I can go down Blooming Division, or I can go up in the homeless camp for a couple hours and shoot and talk, right? So we watch.
Right. You was about to say your shoot though.
Yeah, right. So like I think you're right. That is a very valuable skill that maybe and then when you take it a step further, like if you are bilingual, there's so
Oh
many roles
yeah.
out there for bilingual roles, and really at least Hollywood, at least the film industry respects that skill set because we're trying to pay bilingual people out here $10 an hour to translate, and you should be paying them double what their counterparts making because they can reach twice the people, right? So there's yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I would love to get people connected with what I'm doing. It's a lot of fun. I got my little set buddies, but it'd be nice to roll with some set buddies from Bmore. Get Sheldon. I get Sheldon out here, man. Let's do let's do some movies, right?
You are a mess. He gonna keep this good government job. Ain't nobody going on the road with you, Chapo. Don't come over here with that.
All right. So
You are a mess, but no, that's dope. That is so dope.
no,
What
but
were
it
you?
works. So if you are a mess, I'll say this: if you are a mess, you're not super organized. You're kind of in the moment kind of person, like I am. The acting is really you're very adaptable to the lifestyle that you need to have for acting because they're going to call me tonight at 11:30 to tell me I need to be in South Carolina for a casting call at 5:30 a.m. It's not even enough time to get there, but through my relational equity I get the hookup. Like the casting director's like, hey, I'm going to need you at XYZ time. So but it's really, yeah, it is pretty absurd, some of the expectations they have for people, but and then you work long days, and it's fun. It's like it's not for everybody, not it's for me. And I'm surprised when I hook people up with a little side job and they either love it
Hmm.
or they're like, I'm never doing this again. I'm like, how do you not love this? Like, we're getting paid to be babysat. We're eating like 5-star food. We're rubbing elbows with like super famous people, and like this easy. I can't imagine an easier job, but it's not for everybody. So
Right, because I remember when you first got started and you were like, "Oh, I'm heading somewhere." For example, this 5:30 cast call or whatever it is, the 3 o'clock. I'm like, "Oh no, I'm gonna be in bed resting.
oh yeah,
I'm
or
gonna, I'm gonna."
you're shooting California, like West Coast California summertime scenes in North Carolina, and it's 40 degrees,
Yeah, see.
and you're wearing like shorts and like summer clothes. So like there's weird stuff that happens. Like
Oh, that's funny. Like when I watch movies, I'm like, it's crazy how they have on summer clothes, but I can see their breasts. Like
yo
it's not like you can see, but I can
yo
see your breasts, bro. Like
and
why
yep,
you got
you
on
look
short
around, you
sleeves?
can see frost on the ground. Yeah, yep, it's some BS. And then it's weird. I don't know why they do it because then in the summertime it's 120, and they want you to like for Ruston, it was like 100 degrees out in DC with no shade because we're out on the monument in the mall, right? So there's no shade, and then we're wearing like 60 sweaters and coats, and like people were dropping out, and it's like,
I was
why don't
about
we,
to say y'all were dropping dead, weren't you?
right? Like,
It's
why don't we film the summer scenes in the summer? And I don't know, but it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. So that's like, I'm starting my journey to do that full time. Like, I'm speaking it into the universe. I'm going to make 6 figures this year. I'm going to get Brandy a Tesla next year. Whatever it takes, as long as it doesn't break my family, like because it does take a lot of family support and coordination. I got Dougie at home holding down the dogs. Brandy's been holding it down, working overnight at the hospital, which I really want her to be done. And the only way I know how to do that is this. So I'm gonna make it work, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's dope. Listen, keep it going, keep it pushing. Like nobody is mad at that. I am happy to hear that you are loving it and loving what you do. Because what's the point if you don't love it?
I agree. It's somebody I was talking to this week. They put it in perspective. They said pretty much everyone in the history of humanity is going to spend more time dead than alive. So
Yeah.
you should intentionally enjoy the time that you're alive. And I was like, yeah, I never thought of that. I'm going to spend forever dead once I'm done. So, so what are you doing with the budget that you have while you're on this side of the dirt?
Right, right. Like impact the people that are in your lives now because my thing is like people think about their legacy and all these things that will live on, but it's like, bro, like in the history of humanity, we're talking millions and millions of years. There are billions and billions of people. Like, just do what you're gonna do here. Don't worry about your legacy. Don't be so concerned about. We're good. We're good. The generational wealth, I support that all day. I support that all day. But
I
folks,
don't know. I'm a legacy guy. I like my message to the future is my sons. My message to the future is like guys like Daysam. And unfortunately, some of my messages to the future are people that I had broken relationships and I damaged, right? That I didn't reconcile. But like, hopefully, I can send some, positive messages into the future as well. So,
but those are still the relationships that you have here now and today.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, it's just I don't know. It's weird when people like, I want to be remembered like, I don't know, a Jay-Z or something. It's like, do you really think Jay-Z is going to be remembered in 3, 4, 500 years? Like, that is not going to be relevant. But okay, let me come back. Let me come back. Let me come back because my rationality of reality is different than everybody else's. So yeah, so the work that we're doing is dope. We are doing a brunch pitch this month with the Morgan Bears. It will be a pull up and pitch competition for Morgan students. You get the chance to win some cash. Chat, I would love if you could come. It is February 11th. The tickets are a grip, but I want you to come as my guest. I want to invite you as a guest. So I'm going to go ahead and eat
I'm gonna
the
drive you
cost.
crazy. You know that though.
But listen, it's going to be resources there. Any students, y'all reach out and yeah, any students hit us up, ask about it. They can come as my guest. I don't know about the adults. Like this is really like tapping in on Morgan in the community, but let me know. Like, Chap,
Maybe
I
we
want
can
you
do
to be
like
my guest.
can we do a scholarship, right? Like to invite a student,
Oh,
like give away like a limited number of scholarships or something like that. Yeah.
that would be cool. I think even still, because it's a pull up and pitch contest, we can even give some quick little pitch lessons or something because that you pitching for cash and it's like
Yeah.
rapid fire. There are 3 other Morgan students that have been actually coaching and going through a little accelerator, but we're giving it out for the people who show up and show out. So if you're interested, pull up and pitch. I'll probably put something on Baltimore Homes
I was gonna
Instagram
ask
this
where.
week.
Okay.
I'll put it on Instagram this week. But for you, Chap, I'll send you the link so that you can be my guest. And then if Brandy's off, bring her too, because it's a brunch pitch. So the food's gonna be good. Resources will be there. We'll talk. We'll talk because
All right.
I
Sounds
I
good.
have a table. I got a table. But yeah, so that'll be cool. So that is February 11th. What you got going on?
I cannot see past. I got to go back tonight, drive tonight, and finish filming. Um, and I'll be back Thursday, and then I'm gonna crash for 2 days and not, recover because I'm not 20 years old anymore.
That
And then,
part.
so I'm not really seeing past that. But we do have some Breadcoin meetings coming up. We've made some really good connections. So, for our Breadcoin family, we've got like we've already locked 2. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about this. So, because we're gonna have these guys on as guests. So we have 2 new partners at Lexington Market, TOGs, which is Spanish for Uncle G, and he knows the empanada lady, and then Tossed Together with Auntie. She's got a really nice spot on the second floor as well, or if you just come in from the pocket side. We tried to close a couple more vendors today, so if they don't join, we still have 2 vendors in the market. And then our next move is coming to Hollands Market and back at Avenue Market again. So we're going to push those 2, and then we'll hit Northeast and some other markets, and cross street. But Lexington Market, we got 2 new vendors, and let me tell you about TOG, man. Let me tell you about G and his brother Jay. Um, I got you, Albert. As soon as I get back, baby, I got you. I got you. So I'll be back Thursday. I'll make a point to come see Albert Thursday before I go incognito. But let me tell you about Uncle G, man. So this guy, I'm putting it out there. Don't y'all beat him up because look, don't beat him up for food, but everybody eats at his spot. So what they have is on their menu, there's a line item that says pay it forward. So I'm gonna go buy my food, and then if I pay it forward, it adds $1 to my bill. And these guys collect those dollars in a separate bank account. And then if someone's short or doesn't have money to eat, they pay for it out of that bank account. So not only do they receive bread coins that you can get from any
They
of the
were already doing it,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's
yeah. I went to tell them
dope.
Breadcoin, and they shut me down with their stuff. And I was like, well, why isn't
Doing
everybody
both.
doing your thing, right? Why isn't everybody doing my thing? So, theirs is even better because I really like Breadcoin is awesome, and Breadcoin is going to be amazing. But theirs is better because they're empowering their own customers in their own community to feed other people in their community, which is what we want Breadcoin to do. But it's more on a
It's a
corporate level.
one-stop shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these guys are just doing it on the spot. So yeah, they were able to. I'll brag a little bit. They on an MLK celebration, they had fed 125 people using the funds that the Pay It Forward funds. They were giving out free. brand new socks and sweatpants and hoodies, and like
Wow.
really taking care of people. It was amazing. But these guys are going to get on the show. We're going to try and get them on the Mark Clark show too, because these guys like just something simple like adding a menu item that says "Pay it forward." If 20% of the restaurants in Baltimore did that, you would change the culture, right? And I know that we can get. I know we can get that, because I know the people in bread that are doing the bread coin program understand the value of that as well. So it's like now I'm
Right.
pitching if like I'm pitching Breadcoin, I'm like, by the way, one of our vendors also does this, and it's a great idea, So we're gonna feed people, man. Like those are my gifts, right? I can code switch, I can got my white card, but I'm an ally. They never see me coming unless I choose to let them see me coming. And then feeding people, man. Like I'm a beast of a cook. I can't even like be humble. Like I cook.
Hmm.
And I put it up against Butler or any of our caterers. I'll put it up against you guys, man, because I'm a beast. But I love feeding people. Always have. And yeah, TOGs. Uh, I mean, we got four more caterers too. I think. Who do we got? Uh, I can never think of the name. Like Mick and I's. It's Habisha.
Oh.
Anyway, Mick and I, our guest from a couple weeks ago, she's one of our breadcoin caterers now. So
Hmm.
she's plugged in, and Jefferson has another one, another guy that they're going in with the bread coins. So bread coins paying them, compensating them to go into the schools, teaching kids how to cook and eat healthy and do nutritional classes. So yeah, we got a lot going on. Nothing on the calendar. We got Agogi Gym has a tournament coming up, so some of our boys are gonna be wrestling in competition, legit competitions.
True.
Always looking towards May 17th for we're going to have an exhibition, boxing and mixed martial arts competitions at Herring Run May 17th, partnering with
Hmm.
the police department to get all that permitting with Sergeant Hardy. Call back Coach MJ. Let's get that squared away. Get all the permits done. And then on the 20th, Miss Jackie Cummings. If Donnie's the king of Black Wall Street, she is the queen. Uh, she's hosting the sidewalk, Black Wall Street. All the businesses come out on the sidewalk on 25th between like Howard and St. Paul's. Might even be longer this year. I'm not sure how many vendors she has. It's a
When is it? May what?
May 20th,
Okay.
and so we'd like to get some of our. Hopefully, they're having the conversations. I connected her with some of the marching bands, with Ms. Mama Donna, with the Go Getters. And they'll take it from there. Hopefully, we're going to have a parade start at Green Mountain 25th and just march all the way to the Black Wall Street event on Howard. So I'm looking forward to that event. But
Okay.
besides that, yeah, May's it seems like it's far away, but it's coming quick. So those are the big things we're doing. Um, yeah.
Yeah, things come quick. So, like you said, so we're in February. So this weekend, the Bunting Neighborhood Leadership Program is hosting an information session. I was a Bunting Fellow. It's sponsored by Johns Hopkins, which is where I found my Voltrina tribe for the weekly wellness walk that we do. But anyway, if you go to the Urban Health Institute to their Instagram, you can RSVP for that and get some feedback if you are a neighborhood community advocate type person. They will support your work, coach you through it, and teach you the language. One of the things that I think I'm proud of or that I learned from Bunting is the language. Like I know that everybody needs housing, you know that everybody needs housing, but they helped me to use the language like understanding restorative justice and institutional racism and how these things are compounded. Like again, surface level, like we know these things, but like getting down to the root cause. So that program was really dope. So I won't stay on that too long. But again, go to Urban Health Institute. You'll see the invite on their Instagram. So that's this weekend. Next weekend is the Morgan Bears brunch pitch. That's the 11th. And then in March, DM Firm is coming back and we're doing another brunch pitch and we're doing a real estate brunch pitch. I'm talking
Ooh.
to Amber over in Park Heights to see if they can be involved in what Park Heights wants to do. But yeah, we're putting that together. So if you know any real estate people who happen to be women, send them this way.
Ryan, hometown lenders, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to Ryan too. I'm gonna reach out to Ryan. I have a couple people in mind.
He's got yeah.
Lee.
So Ryan has a good list of realtors who want to be involved in community work, and so he was talking about last year, October. He was talking about planning an event where we bring our community tribe to the table in a space where he brings the realtors who want to serve, volunteer, or support, and having just this little community event. And we just haven't connected to close that deal yet. But he's definitely got a core group of people who want to support and volunteer and be more involved. So that'd be a great opportunity connecting them to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely reach out to him. I have a short, long list of people that I want to get involved, but if they can't be involved this time around, you know how Paz is. We got a couple things coming up.
So is it just so people understand the eligibility? Is it for women or everyone? Is it for Black, Latino? What's the
Black women.
sweet sweet? Do they have to be from Baltimore?
They don't have to be from Baltimore. No,
Yeah, all right, all right, all right. Very
nope,
good.
nope.
Okay.
Because we take them all. Like if you have a great idea for community and you want to pitch that thing, come up and talk to us. Because I mean, what we got now is doing what it does, but we can use help. So right, like why say no?
Oh, you
Why
know
say
what?
no?
The women. Forgive me. I don't know disrespect intended. Black women be whole. They got an
Yes,
event coming up, right? So we need to get them back on and promote that and lock in the date and information for everybody. Um,
right.
and then I did say I give a shout out to Tia Hamilton with Urban Reads Bookstore. She's
Oh
actually
yes.
she's posted up.
Tomorrow. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
But no,
ahead.
no, you go ahead. Go ahead.
So the Black Butterfly book signing isn't tomorrow. It's February 1st. But yes, Urban Reads sells The Black Butterfly, written by Dr. Lawrence Brown, talking about
I'm gonna text her
Baltimore,
right now, bro.
the history of racism. Y'all, we don't play these games. Like, yes, Urban Reads right there on Greenmount. And they got a new location in the market too, right?
That's
Like,
how I met
yeah.
her. She's in Lexington. Yep.
Bop, 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 bop. See, I know these folks. They may not know me, but I know them. I be watching people, y'all. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, okay?
You
Like
sketchy, man.
right. Listen, if it's a black woman, chances are, and she doing dope stuff, I know exactly
Well,
who
that's
she is.
that's what I told her. I said, I just met her, and then I was texting her later when I figured out when she said Urban Reads, I was like, you're now I know who you are. Like your reputation precedes you, so you doing good things out here, big sis. And she
Yes,
appreciated that because we have never met
she works
before.
with returning citizens.
Hey,
Like she holds it down for the town. I appreciate her work.
and
Yes.
then just real quick because I know we're well we can get off here a little early, but I just want to shout out to Monique Ruffin. She's always supportive of anything we're doing. That's another thing we could talk about one day is some missing person stuff because I have unique
Ooh.
firsthand experience of how to find your missing persons. Right? I just have a unique perspective I'd like to share with people so people are informed. It's critical. Uh, Thank you, Val Jenkins with Hug Don't Shoot, always supporting and love. Angie Winder,
Mm-hmm.
always, she's amazing, and Ashley Esposito, a little house favorite over here. She actually helped me navigate some stuff with Dougie to get him back on track because I've been really overwhelmed with in my personal life with my family situation, and it's strange that like I feel so empowered and it's so easily I can just help everybody else, and then when it's my stuff, I feel overwhelmed and I don't know where to begin. And so Ashley Esposito stepped up to the plate, and she got some information for me. So thank you for that, and just pay attention, y'all. Like everyone who's supporting me in my struggle and my work and my journey, 99.9% Black women.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure. Like yes.
I'm saying it out loud because girls rule the world.
Yes, listen to black women, y'all. We've been telling you these policies ain't right. We've been trying to tell y'all we need better housing, less policing. I don't even want to talk about the police thing because, again, the whole culture of police is going to do what the culture of police is going to
Well,
do
so did you know?
because of the system.
So did you
Go
know
ahead.
that the officer involved with the one with tire
Hmm.
knew him? Apparently, allegedly, I was reading
I'm
today
not surprised.
that the young man who died was dating his ex girlfriend, and
I'm not
so
surprised. I told
so
somebody that thing is
that,
personal. Like,
yeah, so one of the officers allegedly was dating a girl. It was over. She moved on. He didn't, and she moved on with that person who was a victim of the violence suffered. So I don't
so
know.
either way, it's still
Yeah,
a victim, it's still the system because you get to
but that's
abuse your power,
yeah.
right? Like, you get to.
Let me speak to that too, because like I know we still got a couple minutes, but not to run on. But I deal a lot with as a chaplain. We deal with victims, specifically female victims of violence from their domestic partners.
So pause, because
Yep.
80% of women who are harmed by their partners. So
Okay,
go ahead.
and so in my experience, what I have observed in my experience, and this, I'm no psychologist or nothing, but um, first of all, there's no consequences. You have somebody who attempted murder someone. They do 3 months. They're supposed to do a year, and then they're supposed to do a year, and then probation. And if you violate probation, go back for 10. Well, they do 3 months of a year, and they're out. Then they violate, then they go back for 3 weeks, and then they're off, and there's no consequences. And the person continues, can continue to stalk and
To
harm
cause
that
trauma,
person. Right, and even if they're not doing that anymore, just the fact that they're out makes the victim feel unsafe, right? So,
causing trauma. Yep.
right. Okay. So what I've learned and observed is that we need as men, and even in the young men I deal with and their little girlfriends in high school, like when a girl is done with you, like you need to be able to let it go, and that's the problem is that people like are not mature enough to just let it go and move on when the other person has, and that
But
just
even deeper,
it
we
turns.
view women as property. Women are viewed as property. So you can't go until I say you can go. Like, if I can't have you, nobody can. Like, that's why that
Yeah,
that
that's crazy.
that
And then,
language and that mentality is real. Like,
I'll tell you, I've been like as a man, um, I never really had, I don't feel, and subconsciously I'm sure that I did, but I never consciously objectified a woman in that manner. But I have been struggled with accepting the fact that a woman is done with me, and I didn't want to be done. I thought we could fix it, and that's when you can't accept that. That's when bad things start to churn, man. So I think it's another thing we need to be intentional about our young men is like is teaching them to be able to let things go and move on. Because like when I was a kid, I always heard this saying like, if you love something, let it go, it'll come back. And I put that to practice, and it's very true.
it
You know,
is.
I messed up. I messed up my relationship with my current wife, Brandy, at a certain point, and I had to like genuinely let it go, ask for forgiveness, and just like accept the fact that I ruined, a 20-year friendship and whatever. But through that genuine letting it go, like we've been married 10 years, and like that's my partner for life. Like I couldn't imagine life without her, but
Right.
I had to be willing to let that go, right? Because I could have like stalked and pined and chased and
And
really
what people don't
been in
understand
a
is during
toxic,
that
created toxic
time,
stuff.
but while you're doing that, you're not giving her a chance to heal or get over
Right,
it.
right, and you're
Instead,
creating toxic
you're
environment.
right. You're like, you're re traumatizing her. And it's like,
Yep.
no, like, give me a minute, let me think. And you're like, no, but I'm the best. And not you, so to speak, but that's how relationships are. And for some reason, our society puts in this thing that, oh, I want to be chased. Oh, he chased me. And it's like, no, that sounds dangerous. I don't want to be chased by nobody. Thank you. Like, listen to the language that we use when we're talking about men
Ooh.
and women relationships. Like, it's just, it's the culture is weird, bro.
So that's another thing. I'm glad you said it because words have meaning, and learning to be more intentional. Have you ever read the Five Agreements?
I haven't read it, but I know some of the agreements.
Okay, I haven't read it either, but So they're just really cool. I'm not great at reading. Like recreationally, I don't read. It has to be very intentional. Like I'm intentionally going to read The Black Butterfly because you don't
I
shut
got
up
you.
about it. So it's got to be, yeah. So it's got to be good. I've read like Monique's story. I've read Donnie's book. So like if I know you, I'm gonna make the effort to read, but I don't usually read. Um, I'm not good at it. The Navy taught me how to I can read a operations manual for a nuclear power plant and understand how that works, but I
Right.
can't read through like Crime and Punishment. I just get bored.
Yeah.
So that said, there's this really cool book group by Elise Bryan, who's one of the artists who was like one of our first guests back in the day. And she has this book club on Thursday nights at 8 where you can you just show up and you listen to the audiobook. So they do a chapter in the audiobook, and for me that's perfect. Like I'm seeing everybody, I'm listening, I don't have to read
It's
anything.
virtual.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like a Zoom, right? So I was going to invite you one night, see how you feel. So last week was my first time attending because I've been real busy, but I made a commitment to do it. And so I sat and I listened to they're doing the 5 agreements, and I listened to the first chapter with everybody, and then we discussed it immediately after, and it was so cool because I thought a book club you had to read and then you come back and talk about your thoughts, but no, we just all virtually listened to the audio book together, and then we discussed it immediately while the ideas were fresh, and we had some fantastic conversations. I'm a storyteller, so people were loving like the stories I was sharing in my perspective, and then other people were giving great feedback to me.
Right.
And it wasn't all about me, but it
Right.
was
But it's from your perspective. That's cool.
right. And so, but it was very meaningful to me, and so I invited Dason to hop on next week. And I don't know where the book goes, so if it's like a crazy book, I'll find out. But
But
you know,
still, that's setup, chap. Like I'm
so yeah,
sitting
you
here.
talked about doing a book club, and I thought it'd be a great idea to join them.
Yes.
Steal not only join them and support them and what they're doing, but then proliferate it. Like take their blueprint, not steal it. We'll get permission, but their blueprint's really good. You listen, you talk. It's amazing. It's church, baby.
Yeah, but to that point, like one of my gripes about book clubs is that I don't find the time to read enough of the books to be a part of the book clubs. But if we're gonna audio listen right then and there, it's like, oh, well, everything is done right here. Like I love it. I love it. So I'm excited about that. Thank you
Yeah, I'm
for
gonna
sharing
forward
that.
you. I'm gonna look at it now so I can forward you. Oh, look, Tia's sending me the book signing Wednesday. Yep.
Right, I told you. Listen, I'm plugged in, y'all. I might not be in these streets like y'all expect me to, but I'm plugged in. Okay, like I got people in the room, my ears to these streets. But
Which
I
is
thought about one more thing we got going on. What is
mhm.
coming up? April is when we will start back the weekly wellness walk, our walk with the doc, Project Healthy Communities, and April will be the return of the Fair Housing Symposium out in Laurel. So that'll be a quarterly event.
Oh,
So pull
cool.
up on us. Yep, go ahead. Yep.
Pull up
That way,
on me. Pull up on me. I love that kid. That's my dude.
I love it too. Like I posted something, I don't know, but I remember typing "pull up on me."
Yeah.
It might have been the bunching thing. I think I was reposting that. But yeah, so we got quite a few things coming up. Just did the winter meltdown with Charm City Virtual over at PDC. That was pretty fun. We did some going green, teaching the kids about solar power and renewable energy. You know how we do. Just engaging folks and getting them involved. Because we don't know what they're going to be interested in, and we got a whole bunch of side hustles. So they can act, they can build, they can read, they can be authors, all the things, all the things. Trying to think if there's anything else going on. I know we got Robert coming up next.
And he will be talking about the police brutality incident. So if you have an opinion about that, tune in. He's going to give you his. So
Yeah,
tune in.
for me, y'all, I can't keep talking about black trauma like the way that I can't. I haven't seen a video in years, like since I think Sandra Bland might have been the last one I looked at. Like, I don't need the proof that the trauma happened to know that it exists, unlike some other people. Because that's the problem. Like, it can only be punished when the proof exists. And how is that fair for the victim? It's not. That's why I know the system corrupt.
Well, let me. How much time we got? Because there's another nuance that I want to. We got a couple minutes. So here's another nuance to the culture when there is police brutality or victimization of Black families or people of color by institutions like the police departments. What happens is, and this is only in our community, it doesn't happen to the white families. What happens is a lawyer comes in and he sues everybody in civil court, gets a family a bunch of money, makes himself a bunch of money or herself a bunch of money. The problem is when you do the civil court case first, part of the agreement for the money is that you have to sign an NDA. Now that you've signed an NDA and taken the money, now when you go to criminal court, you can't testify because you signed an NDA and it's breaking the law to testify. So then there's no accountability for the people who enacted the trauma on our families of color. So please, if you're a victim or you know someone who's victimized and you're going to court, do the criminal case first. The money will come. Just do the criminal case first. Hold those accountable. And then once you've established that in criminal court, then you take it to civil court and you can sue. Please, like
right, because I'm sure that's an intentional loophole.
No, it is absolutely. And so people like we all know the lawyers that fly in and with the NAACP and they swoop in and they think they're doing great work, but they're doing it backwards, and you're actually doing us a disservice by not holding those accountable legally through NDAs that you signed in the civil suits. So, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm not a dummy.
Right. Not a lawyer, but Google it, right? Like somebody knows that is true. And tell a friend to tell a friend or tell a friend to Google it, because at the end of the day, there are so many loopholes, and the system is set up in such a way that we were never considered. We were never supposed to be involved.
It's that systemic stuff you're talking about, man. And we just accept it as that's what we do. That's the process.
No, that culture is toxic and problematic, and we got to change it. So,
well, you doing it. Like I said, I seen you in a room full of mayors, and I was like, "Yo, this is all about you. This is the Quita show."
You are so funny. Listen, restorative, not even restorative, reparative, transformative justice. Like it all needs to be redone, and I'm gonna keep running my mouth, chap, and talking to it the best way that I can, because it's necessary.
Just keep
building
up.
That's what I'm gonna do with my time.
We keep building up the tribe. Things will change. Things are changing. We are daily. I remind my family, Dayson, and everybody, like we are making Black history daily. And I'm a privilege
every day, serve.
Yeah, and I'm privileged to serve those who are doing it. So love you guys. That's a wrap. I think it's a wrap. We'll get on with Robert. See you guys next Monday. Love you all. Love you, Quita.
Love you more. Peace and blessings. Thanks for coming out. God bless and good night, folks. We'll see you next